Later, Kirk sat on cushions by the low tables of chow and fed Telani as she fed him. Their guests recited toasts and poems and read greetings from those who could not be with them. The festivities were everything Kirk had hoped they would be. He almost forgot that the sovereign had brought something other than the guests and gifts to his wedding. Fleet Admiral Nechayev had supplied security teams which now were stationed in the woods surrounding the clearing and his home. Spock had confirmed their presence earlier in the afternoon without mentioning why the Admiral had felt security might be necessary. Kirk and Spock both knew the answer without discussing it. High overhead, shuttles were also flying past regularly. They flew too slowly to be supported solely by aerodynamics, and as Kirk had ridden over to Memlon's farm, he had seen the distinctive Starfleet silhouette of one of the craft against the setting of the suns. Memlon. Kirk thought about why he had suddenly ridden back to Memlon's farm before the ceremony. He had made a promise to Tilani from the bridge of the duplicate Voyager just moments before she had accepted his proposal. To keep that promise, he had to borrow a phaser from Memlon's mother. Kirk stopped to catch his breath. It was time he found his bride and sat down. She was sitting on the porch of their house with her own closest friends. Both she and Kirk had long ago changed from their traditional red leather garb. Tilani now wore a loose shift of white chow cotton swathed in a gauzy white wrap. A group of guests clustered around Tilani on the porch, reaching out to take her hand or kiss her cheek. A few patted her stomach as if she were a lucky Buddha. Small children from her reading group hugged her. She waved at him and motioned to him to come join her, but he shook his head and instead pointed to what was 2 meters away to his left, the tree stump. 8 months ago, almost to the very day, Kirk's battle with this field had been in its final round. He had vowed to remove the stumps himself with his own 2 hands, and he had, except for this one. He had ruined his back even attempting to shift it. When he and Tilani had been reunited on the duplicate Voyager, Tilani had teased him about this stump and his stubbornness and his wretched back, and he had promised Tilani he would borrow that phaser from Memlon's mother and blast that stump from the ground. Now, Kirk reached into his pocket and removed the small phaser, Memlon's mother's own. Tilani laughed out loud as Kirk brandished it theatrically and made a production out of taking careful aim at the stump. And then, Tilani's laughter turned into a guttural cry